She stood at the corner of the crowded street, her fingers trembling as she opened a tiny velvet box. Inside it lay the only treasure she had left, her mother's golden locket. It was old, scratched, and small, but to her, it was everything. For the 5th time that day, she whispered, "I'm sorry, Mama. I can't let him sleep hungry again." When she finally extended the locket toward the shopkeeper, a man standing nearby froze mid-step. A billionaire. A man feared for his coldness. But in that one moment, he wasn't thinking about money, business, or power. He was thinking about the look in her eyes, a look he had once seen in the mirror when he was a starving boy no one believed in, and what he did next shocked everyone, including her. Rain dripped from the torn edges of Zara's shawl as she hurried through the evening crowd, clutching her son's hand. 7-year-old Sammy kept wiping his nose, trying to pretend he wasn't hungry, even though his lips were pale and dry. For 3 days, he had eaten nothing but small pieces of stale bread. Zara had tried everything, cleaning houses, washing clothes, even begging, but nothing had worked today. No one wanted to hire a woman carrying a sick child. She stopped at the corner shop, staring at the food displayed behind the glass, a single loaf of bread, a packet of milk, and oranges. Her son stood silently, watching, swallowing painfully, her eyes filled with tears as she opened the velvet box she always kept hidden. Inside was her mother's locket. Her last memory. Her last connection to someone who had loved her without limits. Zara had promised never to sell it. But promises meant nothing when your child was starving. Her voice cracked as she approached the shopkeeper. I need food. Can you take this? Please, it's real gold. It's all I have." Before the shopkeeper could respond, a sleek black car stopped a few feet away. The door opened, and a man in a dark coat stepped out. Arif Khan, one of the wealthiest businessmen in the country. His face carried the sharpness of someone who had fought his way up from dust to diamonds. But when he saw the trembling woman offering her last treasure for bread, something inside him twisted. He walked closer, pretending to browse the items, but he couldn't take his eyes off her. "Why are you selling it?" he asked gently, startled. Zara wiped her tears. "My son needs food. I have nothing else." Arif stared at the locket, then at the boy. Something buried deep inside him woke, something he had locked away long ago. Memories of hunger, cold nights, and a mother who had sacrificed everything so he could live. He cleared his throat. "How much is the food?" he asked the shopkeeper. 300 rupees, sir." Arif pulled out his wallet, not to buy the food, but to buy the entire shop's stock. Bread, milk, fruits, packets of rice, everything. He placed them gently at Zara's feet. Her eyes widened. "Sir, I didn't ask for." "I know," he said. "But you shouldn't have to choose between memories and survival." Zara stared at him, unable to speak. Sammy tugged on her sleeve, whispering, "Mama, we can eat?" She nodded, tears streaming down. Arif watched them, a strange tightness forming in his chest, but the story didn't end there, because once he walked away, something happened that forced their lives to collide again. The next morning, Zara walked miles under the burning sun to reach the factory where she had heard they were hiring cleaners. She left Sammy with an elderly neighbor and prayed someone would give her a chance. When she reached the office, her heart dropped. The security guard looked down at her with disgust. "No vacancies." "Go away." "But sir, I just want to work." "Anything, I said go." She stood frozen, humiliated, when suddenly a familiar car pulled up. Arif stepped out, briefing his assistant about the day's schedule. Until he saw her, the guard instantly straightened. "Sir." "Good morning." Arif ignored him and approached Zara, confusion in his eyes. "Why are you here?" I came for a job," she whispered. "I don't want free things. I want to earn." That sentence struck him harder than anything. Most people begged him for money. No one asked him for dignity. He asked, "What can you do?" "Whatever someone is willing to teach me." Arif studied her face, tired, fragile, but determined. She reminded him of his mother, a woman who had washed floors and stitched clothes to give him a future. Without another word, he turned to his assistant. "Take her information. She starts today." Both Zara and the guard went still. "Yes, sir," the guard stammered. "She is a..." Arif's voice turned sharp. "She is a human being. Something you seem to have forgotten." Zara lowered her head, overwhelmed. That was the first time in years someone had spoken for her instead of against her. Her duties were simple: cleaning, organizing files, maintaining the employee lounge. But every time Arif passed by, he noticed something. She never wasted a second, never complained, never slowed down even when she was exhausted. She worked like someone who didn't have the luxury of giving up. One evening, as she was leaving, Sammy suddenly ran toward her. He had escaped the neighbor's house because he missed her too much. He tripped on the stairs, and Zara screamed, sprinting toward him. Arif rushed too. The boy's knees were bleeding. "Come inside," Arif insisted. "I'll call a doctor." Zara hesitated. "Sir, I don't want to cause trouble." "You won't," he said firmly. "No mother should face this alone." Inside, while the doctor treated Sammy, Arif noticed the child clutching the velvet box, the same one that had held the locket. "You kept it?" Arif asked softly. Zara nodded. "I couldn't sell it. You didn't let me lose it." Arif felt something shift inside him, something he could not fully understand. In her eyes, he saw strength. In her son, he saw the childhood he once lived, and in her story, he saw a purpose he never knew he needed. Their lives were no longer running on parallel tracks, they were beginning to intertwine, slowly, quietly, faithfully, and the real journey was only just beginning.